What's going on, people, and welcome back to my final team for the Fantasy Premier League to get underway. Starts on Friday, obviously, the season, so this is my final lineup I'm going with, unless nearer the deadline we get any injury news that I'm going to have to take players in and out, then I will do so, but this is how it's looking. Apologies as well, someone kindly pointed out in my predictions video I did forget one of the matchups, but I did put in the comments of that replying to him, so if anyone did miss my Forest Bournemouth prediction, it is in the comments on that video. You'll see it if you click on the comments, as I just somehow forgot that matchup. But shout out to the person that I can't remember your name off the top of my head, but shout out to you for pulling me up on that, because it just slipped my mind. I don't know how I missed it. Getting into final team selection then, game week 1. I'm going with a 4-4-2, old school like that. Pickford in goal at home against Brighton. I fancy Everton to get a result in that and probably nick a win. So Pickford, I know he did well last season in terms of the keepers. So I'm going with him from the outset this year. He's probably going to stay in my team as one of my keepers for at least half the season, I'm going to predict, but we'll see how it goes and how their form is. But Pickford in goal. With 4 at the back, I've got another Everton player with Tarkowski at home against Brighton also. He can score the odd goal from a set piece as well. So I know he's not the most attacking, but he can definitely score from corners. Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool away to Ipswich. A lot of people going with Trent, who is the obvious option. I originally had Robertson in, but I know that he hasn't been playing a ton in the pre-season and stuff, so I've gone with a safer option in Van Dijk, who might not get as many attacking returns, but similar to Tarkowski, he can definitely score from a set piece. He's a threat from aerial, from corners and things, so Van Dijk, and I think Liverpool should get the 3 points in that opening fixture against Ipswich, even though they're away. Guardiola is one I've brought in recently because I didn't put him in straight away because I didn't know if he'd played a lot in the pre-season, but I know he played in the final against United the other day as well, and he has played in pre-season as well. So I've put him in. People saying he's not been looking as attacking as he did at the end of last season, but I think a City defender, they're not going to concede a ton of goals. He will get forward at times, and yeah, I think he's a good pick. So they are away to Chelsea, their first game, but I think City will win that game. So Guardiola, and then my final defender starting, I've got Saliba at home against Wolves for Arsenal. Yes, he's not the most attacking again, but I just was so impressed with him last year, and I don't always just base my team on who the most attacking players are. I like to get players in there that I'm a fan of. He's going to play a lot of minutes again, and I just think he's a safe option, and he can score a goal. It might not be that often, but he can. So Saliba. And then going into the midfield, Newcastle player Anthony Gordon. I expect him to have a very big season. I think he's getting better and better. And didn't play a lot in the Euros, so didn't play in the Euros at all, I don't think, did he? So he's going to be chomping at the bit to get going. And against Southampton, it's a favourable fixture for Newcastle in their opening game. They're at home, and I think he could get a couple of goals at least. So Elliott for Liverpool away to Ipswich. Now I know that he's not a dead cert to start, and he's a bit of a risk, but I wanted to take it with him. I was impressed with him last year when he did feature, but he's still fighting for minutes. But he did play a fair few minutes in the pre-season, but I don't know if he's going to start in this game. He might not. He might come off the bench, but he's a bit of a punt. He's not that dear, and when I watched him last year, I liked what I saw. So he's a bit of a punt, a bit of a risk, but I'm going to go with it, see how it goes. Elliott away to Ipswich. Cole Palmer for Chelsea. Obviously, their first game is at home against Man City, which is not an easy fixture. I do think City will probably win the game, but I think Chelsea could score, and Cole Palmer probably still on penalties and can definitely score from open play as well. Against his former team, he'll want to do even better than he does anyway, so he's going to be even hungrier in this game for me than he will be in other games, just to prove Pep and his old team wrong. Probably stay in my team a lot because he was just... I know his price has gone up this year, but what he did last season was unbelievable. Should have got more minutes at the Euros as well. Made an impact at the Euros in the minimal minutes he got. He's just a quality player, so he is in. Odegaard is my final pick then for Arsenal at home to Wolves. Had Saka a lot last year, had Odegaard a little bit, so I've switched it up a little bit to start the season off. I probably will have Saka in at some point, but I've gone with Odegaard. He's slightly cheaper. Yes, he won't probably get as many returns, but he is fundamental in that team. He makes the team run. He's a playmaker of the team. He'll take the odd penalty at times, and he can take free kicks and corners. And he's a threat. Like, he can score and assist, and he's a bit cheaper than Saka. So a little bit more of a risk, but I'm going to go with it early on. Odegaard, and then 2 up top to start. Isak for Newcastle against Southampton. I'm going to captain him this game week 1 as well. I really like the fixture for Newcastle in this. I think Newcastle will get the 3 points. Isak, I thought, looked very dangerous last season. And that was when he was still fighting injury and stuff as well. So if he can stay clear of injury this year, I think he's going to be very, very big threat. And I think he could end up top scorer, even above Haaland. So if he can stay fit, he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. And I expect him to get at least 1 goal in this game, if not more. I'm going to captain him for game week 1, Isak. And then finally, another Arsenal player, vice-captaincy on this one as well, and that is Kai Havertz at home against Wolves. Pretty good Euros, very good season last year, and I expect it to continue for him. So I'm going to vice Havertz. And then on the bench, I've got Dean Henderson for Palace, away to Brentford, cheaper option for the season. See how long he stays in, but I think Palace have got some decent fixtures, decent squad. I like what they're doing under Glasner, so Henderson might come in the coming weeks. Happy with my 2 goalkeeper picks. Adingra as first sub away to Everton. As I said, I think that he could be one that goes under the radar a little bit. Very dangerous attacking player, can definitely score a good goal. Get an assist here and there, is very creative, but an attacking threat he definitely is. And in an attacking Brighton side, could do well for them again this year. So one a little bit under the radar, Adingra. Another one just for a budget option really. I had Mateta in recently, but I know that he was at the Olympics, so haven't put him in because I don't know if he's going to play for the first couple fixtures. So another Palace option. I could have gone Eze, but I didn't in the end. I went with Edouard up top because I feel like that striking position, number 9, is going to be for him until Mateta gets back. There's no other competition. So I think Edouard is a dead cert to play probably the first 2 games. So that is my thinking behind that, and he's not the dearest. And then my final sub I put in last night because I originally had Fabian Schär from Newcastle, or Share, however you pronounce it. But I noticed that he was flagged, so it said he was 75% chance of playing, so he might still play the opening fixture against Southampton, but I didn't want to take the unnecessary risk. So I took him out, just have less headaches going forward, and I've put Murillo in for Nottingham Forest, who I've been impressed with since he came in at Forest. More of an attacking centre-back, can score from a set piece as well from aerial positions. Murillo for Forest, another one that's a pretty good price as well. First game at home against Bournemouth. So that is my team. Hope you enjoy it, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. And the season gets underway on Friday, so I'm excited, looking forward to it, and I can't wait for the fantasy to start again. I'll be back Thursday as well with my first golf ball review. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy the weather. Look forward to the football. And I'll be back to recap off game week 1 as well sometime after the games have finished. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you soon.